Yes.
Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley. My guest tonight is Duane Boucher. I say it right, Boucher?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because some people say Boucher.
It really should be Boucher, which is the French pronunciation,
Yes.
but we've sort of become accustomed to saying Boucher.
Oh, okay.
But we'll answer to either.
Oh, okay. Well, in Rockdale here, we have a number of Bouchers,
Yeah. All right.
being the French-Canadian community down here.
That's right. Everyone came down during the Industrial Revolution.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yes.
Popular
In
name.
fact, the former selectman, he moved over to New Hampshire a while back, but his name was Tim Boucher.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, and he always used to emphasize that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I saw it, that's what I thought, but then I heard you say Boucher. So that's, whatever people prefer to be called, that's what their name is.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. And this is what we're talking about. And Stone Hill, which is off of Church Street. You can't miss it. And you're going to be handling the real estate.
Yep. Yep.
Your dad is the developer.
Right. Yep. So it's family business.
Yep.
We're all part of the development team, and we each have our specialties. And I also run the real estate brokerage arm of our business, which is a Remax office. And so I'll be managing the sales aspect.
Right,
as
but
well.
this is good because there's a direct connection with the developer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, the real estate agent comes in and sells the properties for the developer, and they're independent. And here, you got a lot more control
Right. Yep.
because you're part of it. Actually, in essence, you're a part of it.
Correct. Yeah. So being, involved from the get-go,
Yep.
I understand a lot of the rationale on how we designed it and why we did things a certain way and
Yes.
choices that were made. So I can speak to it and explain it very clearly. And yeah, there's questions that come up. I can typically get those answered pretty quickly.
And I want to tell everyone, if you want to see an example of what they do, you go down to North Smithfield. I
Right.
went down there. It's very impressive. I was very impressed with it. A beautiful job. I went down on a summer day, a Sunday morning, and everybody's walking around. It's like one little community within a community.
Right. Yeah. We just completed that project. It's a 55 and over condominium development
Yep.
in North Smithfield, Rhode Island called Laurelwood.
Yes.
And it's 162 units, all single level. And yeah, it's a beautiful community. People are very nice and
Oh,
enjoy living there. It's landscaped very nicely. And yeah, it turned out really, really well.
Yes. So, I mean, if you're interested in here, you want to see what it's going to look like,
Yep.
take a ride down North Smithfield one day.
Exactly. Yeah, that's located at 170 Providence Pike, which is Route 5
Yep.
in North Smithfield. And yeah, you can drive right through and take a look at it.
Yeah. And like I said, I was impressed.
Yeah.
But here's a sample of what you're doing. And this is that, and we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
It looks like a two-story, but it's not. It's actually a walkout cellar, walkout basement.
Yeah.
But the entrance part, where you go, your front door is actually at ground level.
Right. So this is a photo taken from Church Street looking up
Right.
the entrance to the site.
I didn't want to go up there because
Yeah,
you got construction vehicles, and I don't want to get in the way.
that's right. They'd run you over and we'd never find you again.
Right. But pretty soon that's going to change. You're going to have the model will be opening up.
Yep. So that unit you see in the photo behind us is of our first unit, which is our model home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still under construction. So it's, I'm looking at the photo thinking, it looks terrible. But it's going to be beautiful when it's done. We still have to landscape the roadway going up the hill. That's correct, the back side of the building. So going around the front, you'll see it'll have a 2-car garage, a nice covered front entryway, and all the living space is on the first floor. But of course, every unit has a basement. This one just happens to be a walkout basement.
Which a lot of people prefer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But another thing you're doing is you're putting 2-car garages and all. And that's something that with elderly today, which I'm in that group, I guess. Husband and wife each have their own car.
Sure. Yeah.
So now you got a readily available place to put both of them.
Right, right. At the Laurelwood community, we had 4 different designed condominium units that we were building. two of them had one-car garages and two of them had two-car garages. And everyone who purchased a unit with a one-car garage always, kind of wish they had that second garage.
Right.
Yeah, we took a lot of what we learned from that development and we incorporated it into the design here. And we really kind of were able to take the best of that community and help design this new Stonehill condominium community. So we went from units that range from about 1,200 square feet to a little over 1,800 square feet, which at Laurelwood, the smallest units were a little small and the biggest units had a little bit of wasted space. And now we've sort of perfected the floor plan. We found that perfect balance. They work out to be about 1,660 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage, full basement, nice open floor plan. So the kitchen has a big island and it's open to the living room and the dining area. The bedrooms are split on opposite sides of the house for privacy. Laundry room on the main floor.
That's important, up and down.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it's all new, so people can pick their colors and personalize the interiors the way they like. We've got samples available, so they can really make it their own.
Now, you mentioned 2 bedrooms. That's an important factor because if you want to have guests over, you can, including guests under 55.
Yes.
You just can't.
Absolutely.
They can't live there.
Right. They can't live there.
But they can be guests there.
Yep. So if you have grandkids that are going to come sleep over, that's perfectly fine. You're going to have guests over, that's fine. If you want to get in a fight and throw your significant other out of the bedroom, they got another place to go.
Well, even for sometimes for health reasons, when they get older, you have to sleep in separate bedrooms.
True. Yep, that is true. And in some cases, you could have someone who is elderly and wants to stay at home, but needs someone to move in and provide care.
Right.
So is another bedroom that could be a caretaker's suite as well.
Yeah, see, so that works out. I mean, if you're gonna,
Yeah.
you could be over 55 and have a parent that's elderly that you don't want to put in a nursing home. You can move them in with you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that works. If they're over 55, they can live there.
Yeah. Yep.
But this is a big boom to the town. And I've said this over and over. I'm on a planning board for a number of years now, and I said, over 55s are a big boom because you're building this. They're not going to have any kids in the school system, but you're still going to pay the same taxes that everybody pays.
That's right.
And your roads are private, so there's no road maintenance for the town. And people in that group of over 55, they're not really. They don't use the ambulance service that much. They use it probably more than younger people, but it's not as common, especially if they're living on their own.
Yeah.
And fire is virtually unused. And police, I don't think you have it down very much if you see the police.
Right. They're usually not troublemakers. So.
Right. So, I mean, you're not using town services, but you're paying for them.
Right. They take care of their own trash removal.
Yes.
They pay their own street lamps, their landscaping. So for a monthly condominium fee of what we estimate to be about $250 a month, it covers all those things. And you're right, it relieves the town from having to pay all of those services, yet they get the tax benefit. So it's a big boon. There'll be 104 units. So there may be some single people, but most likely there'll be a lot of couples. So it could be 150 people or so that end up residing there. And they need to go grocery shopping. They need to go out and eat. They put gas in their car.
Yeah.
So it'll be a big boom to the local businesses as well. Yeah.
Now, your average price is going to be around 500,000.
Yeah. Yep. We initially were hoping that our starting price points would be in like the low 400s range, but
really?
The prices of materials
lumber has gone crazy,
out of control. So,
but not just lumber, everything is actually
right. Yeah, it's concrete, glass, everything. Yeah. So we're looking at we may end up with an average price point of around 500,000, but we're hoping to at least have some units in like the mid 400 range, like the 450 price range, at least like for some starter units.
Yeah.
And then they may go up, closer to the 500 or low 500s range from there.
Yeah, that's great. Now,
Yeah.
see, that sounds high, but when you talk about someone who owns a house in town right now,
Yeah.
their house is probably going to sell for that or better.
Right. Values are up right now. So
Yeah.
in most cases, people are downsizing to some degree to move to a place like this. So
Yes.
the value of their house is up. They can capitalize
And
on
if they
that.
got if they got their mortgage paid off,
Right.
they can move in there for cash.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. With the Laurelwood community, that was our experience. Is probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the buyers were all cash because they downsized and used
Right.
the
And
equity from
took
their
the
home.
equity and bought their new home.
Right.
And the thing is that
Yeah.
these prices keep going up too. And if you
Yeah.
buy one now, in a year it's going to be worth a lot more. So
Yeah.
you still got that legacy you can leave behind
Right.
if you want to give something to your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go, you got it.
Right. And there's, the 55 and over community single level condo concept hasn't been around that long in this area. So
No.
there's a limited inventory of this type of product. So
Yes.
even, you're right, someone makes a decision to buy here and they stay here for 10 years or 20 years or so, chances are there'll still be a pretty high demand for it in the future as well. Because it's difficult to find land that's suitable to develop something like this.
Yeah, and as we live longer,
Yeah.
there's more of a market.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
As well as not just live longer, but stay home longer.
Yeah.
But you reach that point where I'm tired of cutting the lawn, I'm tired of shoveling snow,
Right.
I'm tired of keeping this place up.
Yeah.
Here you go in, you don't have to worry about a thing.
Right. You can really age in place and you can be all on one level, not have to worry about the exterior
Yeah.
at all. If you
Yeah,
want to take
you got-
off on vacation, you lock the door and you.
Yeah, we talked about that. You don't, you
Take
know
off.
your house is secured.
Right.
You know if anything goes wrong, someone's there keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a community like this too, you actually buy protection because it's like it used to be years ago. Neighbors watch out for neighbors,
That's right.
and if someone's in this community that doesn't belong there, and I saw that when I went down to North Smithfield, riding around, they're looking, who's this guy?
Yeah.
They're gonna notice and they're gonna do something about it.
That's right. In fact, it's funny you say that because we even had that experience in our last community. We had the community about a third built out, and of course, people were living there and getting
Yeah.
settled in. And one weekend, my brother-in-law needed something. It happened to be something that happened to be up on site at Laurelwood. And my father, John, said, well, here, why don't you take the pickup truck and run up there, you can grab that stuff and bring it back over here. And he went, he picked it up, brought it back. Well, don't you know, all of a sudden we get a phone call from the police. The license plate was called in. The neighbors saw a truck they didn't recognize.
There you
They
go.
took something off the site. Who is this? And we had to explain, it's okay, it's okay.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Right.
It's like the old days. Your
Yeah.
community watches out for everyone else.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We thought we may have a lot of interest in people getting alarm systems, especially if they thought they may want to go to Florida for the winter and
Yeah.
leave their house empty for a few months. They'd want an alarm system on their house. And surprisingly, it was very rare. Most people said, "No, I don't need an alarm.
No.
I'm in a neighborhood. I have neighbors
Yeah.
here. They're all going to become my friends. They're all going to keep an eye on my place."
Yeah, and the thing is too, even while you're gone,
Yeah.
there's someone shoveling your driveway out, the walkway, so it looks
right.
like you're there.
That's right. Yeah, we clear the snow from not only the roads but the driveways right up to the garage door, and they shovel right up to the front door. So if you're going all winter, no one would ever know.
Yeah, and it's all part of the condo fee, so you don't have to worry about, oh, did I pay the guy to remove the snow? It's all taken care of.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's not even like you're hiring your own landscaper and all. You have to worry if they show up or not.
Right.
Yeah, it's all taken care of.
That's the other
for
thing
you.
too. All through the growing season, there's someone cutting the shrubs where you have them and
Yeah.
taking care of the garden, whatever. Right?
Yeah. It's not just cutting the grass. It's right. It's trimming the shrubs. It's fertilizing. We have access to the Whitensville water supply there for the domestic water, but we're sinking wells for the irrigation.
Yeah,
to keep
so you're
the
gonna have,
costs
everyone
down.
will have an irrigation system.
So all the lawns will be irrigated. So it'll be all very well maintained. We typically set up the association on a schedule so that every other year or every third year, for instance, they're remulching the mulch beds, they're power washing the exterior of the buildings,
Oh,
they're
wow.
cleaning out the gutters. So all those things are
So
taken
these
care of.
houses are well maintained,
Yeah, yeah, well
and that's all
maintained.
part of the condo
Correct.
the agreement that when you go in.
That's right. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a great program, really is,
Yeah.
and especially if you like to travel.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about it. Yeah, lock the door and take off for a week or for the whole winter.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but now, if anybody, oh, by the way, 508-266-0990. You want to talk to Duane, here's the guy who's up there, he's right at the top. So if you got any questions, and I know there were questions in the past, but you've handled them. I want to talk
Yeah.
about, that's a tough area for runoff because it's all ledge, all stone.
Right.
Water doesn't permeate down in there. It drains, and there's always been a problem down on Leland Road.
Mm.
That goes back to, God, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now we found, well, one of the problems is the pipe that drains down to the river is clogged.
Yeah.
And they were blaming you guys.
Yeah.
See? So,
Yeah.
but we get that cleared up.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's the town's responsibility.
Yeah.
We got those pipes running all over town because when when this town started getting built, it was like any other place in New England. It had a lot of brooks that ran into the rivers,
Right.
and they said, "Oh, we don't need that brook exposed. We'll just cover it up." And
Yeah.
they put pipes in. Well, those pipes are getting old now.
Right. Yeah.
But that's going to be taken care of by the town of Northbridge, and so Leland Road, you will no longer have your problems.
Excellent.
And you've actually made it better there, because you've gotten some growth in there now.
Right.
You handled with some drainage.
Yeah.
You got detention ponds.
Yeah, that was one of our first orders of business because
Yes.
we knew that it was all rock and a lot of the trees had been cut prior to us purchasing the property, so there was some issues with runoff. So as soon as we got in, of course, we had to cut more trees to get started, but
Right.
we got those detention basins installed right along our entrance between our site and then where Leland Road is to try to eliminate.
And they actually look pretty good.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they actually enhance the area.
Yeah, yeah. And when we finish with the landscaping,
Oh,
it'll-
once the
it'll look
grass
so
is
much
growing,
nicer.
it's going to look beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
And they'll be maintained.
right.
That's another thing, we
Yeah.
do detention basins for projects all over town.
Yeah,
But in most cases, they're turned over to the town
okay.
through an easement.
Yeah,
But the highway department doesn't have the people to maintain them, so they just end up growing in.
right,
Yours are gonna be part of your property, so I know they'll be maintained.
right. Yep.
And you just put up a wall down there too, didn't you? I
Um,
thought I saw a wall.
near the detention basin, we've
Yeah,
got some
down at the bottom, I
rock
guess where
walls.
you're gonna have your sign.
Okay. Well, we put in a cement pad because we're going to have a kiosk there for all the mailboxes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then right now the roadway leading into the entrance of the site is pretty wide open, but
Yeah.
we're going to cut that also, and we're going to put a planter in the middle, so you'll have an entranceway and an exit, like a boulevard-style entranceway, and we'll put a permanent monument sign in the middle.
That's what yeah,
Stating
okay, it's a
Stone
monument,
Hill.
yeah, we prefer the monument style.
Yeah, it'll be a nice permanent
Yeah.
sign. We'll landscape around it so it'll look real pretty. And the site is quite a bit larger than it appears because if you drive down Church Street, you sort of see this driveway entrance leading up the hill.
Yes.
But once you get up top of the hill, it goes quite a ways back.
Oh, I know.
And,
It goes a real long way back.
Yeah, yeah,
And once it gets developed, it'll look really nice. Of course,
Yeah.
you're going to have a lot of plantings.
yeah. We're big proponents of nice landscaping because that just makes such a big impact when you
Yes.
drive into a community, and it's expensive, but I think it just
In the long
makes it
run, it makes good because it
Yeah.
keeps noise down.
right.
It
Yeah.
keeps the air cleaner.
Right.
It
Yeah,
just works
yeah.
out well. I mean, and it looks, and the ambiance is there.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Gives you a nice, well manicured neighborhood feel.
Yes.
Yep. We're going to alternate colors on the building, so they're not all the same. That's one of our pet peeves also with some condominium developments. Every building is the same color, and it's like you can't distinguish which one's yours. You could come home one night and
Yeah, you
pull in the wrong
drive in and
driveway.
say, which one is mine, especially
Right.
at night.
Yeah. So they're all going to be kind of laid out, so it's more like a neighborhood that you would drive through, and
Yeah.
the buildings will have different colors, but they'll be the similar style, so
Right.
they'll all complement one another. And the nice thing is you're up on the top of the hill there, so there's a few elevation changes there, so
Yes.
there'll be some variety, and the views from up there are beautiful.
Oh, I know. I drove up there when you first started because
Yeah.
anytime I'm on a planning board, I like to check out an area
Yeah,
and how things are going, and it is very impressive.
yeah, beautiful. You can see quite a ways from up there.
Yes.
Yep.
And anybody who lives up there, I'll tell you, you will be very happy with this. But what I also know, of course, you got the solar farm next door, but you're not going to notice that because they did some good landscaping there.
Right, yep, so we're working in conjunction with them to get some
Yeah.
landscaping installed along our property line. And that's our goal, of course, is, we want to try to create as much privacy as possible for the benefit of the people moving here to Stone Hill and for the neighbors. And, some of that takes a little time for things to plant and then grow and fill in, but,
It grows pretty rapid.
yeah, give it a couple of years and
Yeah.
it tends to fill in, and we're using things that will stay green year round.
Use a lot of
Obviously.
arborvitaes, and those things
Yeah.
grow like, oh God, they're like weeds.
Yeah.
First thing you know,
Right.
you start with a 4 foot and
Yeah.
it's 5 feet, 6 feet tall.
Yeah, right,
Now, also having the solar farm, you couldn't ask for a quieter neighbor.
right.
I mean, they don't make any noise.
Yeah, they're a pretty quiet neighbor, yeah,
So, I mean, that's another
that's-
thing, and
nice,
it's not gonna be housing or anything like that where you might have kids running around in the streets.
yeah,
It's gonna be quiet.
right, exactly,
Now, you also, you have one entrance in and one entrance out, but that's worked out. You have a great design. In fact, so good that the highway department was happy with it, and so was the fire department.
Yeah.
And the police, they saw no problem with that.
Yeah.
I know some people question me, well, geez, they need another entrance, but if the fire chief has no problem with it, I have no problem with it.
yeah,
Is they don't want, because you did it with
Right.
boulevards.
right, yeah,
So, and the way you loop them,
hmm
if there was an accident or a tree or something blocking anywhere in there, you can get around it.
correct. Yep, the road sort of loops around once you're in
Yes.
there, so there's some,
So there's not an
Access.
emergency problem where people might think that, oh, it's gonna be well, what if I need an ambulance to my house and there's a tree down and across? Well, they can go another direction.
right,
So it will be accessible.
yeah, and this way, it'll pretty much just be local traffic in there as well.
Yeah,
so
and
no one
there
has to
again,
worry
that makes
about-
for, on a Sunday morning in the summer, it makes for a nice walking area.
Right, yep,
Or a summer night,
yeah,
take a stroll with the wife and
that's right,
say
yeah,
hello to the neighbors.
yep,
You run into each other walking around.
yeah, exactly.
Like I say, it's like a community within itself.
Right. Yep. And you get the senior center right down the street also,
Yes.
which is sort of nice. People want to
Within walking distance.
Yeah, some sort of activity or gathering. Yeah. Close by there as well. Yeah.
And your shopping's not too, well, that's all
Yeah.
required within the bylaw too, that you have to
Right.
be near certain areas.
Right.
So it's an ideal spot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And of course, we got some great golf courses in town now, so, in the area, so
Yeah.
if you're a golfer, it's not too far to go for that.
Right. Yep.
But, how did you come about finding this area?
Well, the prior owner, we've done some business with, and he presented us with the opportunity because he could see that this was an ideal site for this type of 55 and over condominium community.
Yeah.
And he knew we were getting close to finishing the one we were working on in North Smithfield. So he suggested that we take a look at it. And our office is in Rhode Island. We're about 30 minutes
Yeah.
south of Northbridge, so we're not too far. But we are licensed in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. We've done building in Massachusetts. We've done subdivisions in Blackstone. We've done building in Rentham. So we've done some work in Massachusetts, but 90+% of what we've done has been on the Rhode Island side.
Right.
But some of the upcoming projects that we knew we had in Rhode Island weren't going to be ready for a few more years. So we were sort of looking for something to fill in, keep us busy.
Yes.
And it just sort of worked out to be a perfect storm. It was a nice project, and we were pleased to be looking in Northbridge because another business partner of mine who builds homes, we built 3 of the single-family homes up at Shining Rock.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
so we had an opportunity to pick up the last 3 lots over in Shining Rock, and we built 3 homes there. And our experience working with the town was great. Working in a lot of different towns, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you know which
Yes.
ones tend to give you a hard time. And Northbridge was wonderful. The building department was great to work with. Very, very helpful, very friendly, very accommodating. So it was a really good experience. And when this came along, we had such a good experience with that we looked very favorably upon it.
Yeah, you can run to a town with, it's almost like they don't want you there.
Yeah, right.
And that's wrong. I mean, you work with people.
Yeah,
And,
right.
and it is for the best of all.
Right. Yeah, a project like this is a real asset to the town, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
So,
well, and another thing you're doing is, of course, in our bylaw, it requires some affordable housing.
hmm
And I like to get that out of it because I don't agree with that. We haven't got anybody to operate it.
mm,
It's always been a problem. We said, well, who's going to decide what's affordable and what's the price and who's going to maintain it after
yeah,
and things like that. But you have to live with what you got.
yeah,
And that's in the bylaw. But what we ask you to do is to give the town
hmm
a payment back
right,
in equal to what the difference in the price.
correct. Yeah,
And you're doing that, and now we're getting a nice basketball court,
yeah,
and there'll be some other things as you work with the town planner as
yeah.
to what we're gonna do.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big plus for the town.
Right, yeah. I understand the first disbursement went to the senior center.
Yeah, senior center got a nice check.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll help the town out in a lot of different ways. And so making that payment in lieu of having an affordable housing component means that all of the units up at Stonehill will be, regular, normal market rate.
The market price,
Right. Yep.
which, like I said, I mean, having I didn't know, we went to the housing authority, and said, well, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We don't know how to, and it ends up, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So we have to reevaluate that.
Yeah. Yep.
But
So,
now, I mean, you're the second proposed over 55. We had one proposed. They ended up not doing it.
Yeah.
And I said, this is too bad because I think there's a big need.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of people that moved into the condos down on Linwood Ave,
hmm
but that's not over 55.
Right.
It's not the same. A lot of them that have moved in there have sold their homes and they're over 55. Because you get the same concept. You don't have to worry about maintenance and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's still not an over 55. It's not like a self-contained village
Right.
with only people over 55 in it.
Right. And I've been selling real estate for over 20 years, and we've worked with a number of other developers who have done condominium projects, and we've sold condominiums in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And one of the things that we run into now and again is a lot of condominium buyers are sometimes first-time home buyers,
Mm-hmm.
single people. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's someone that just went through a divorce and they just need a temporary landing place. So you'll get some people who are in and out, and you'll usually have some percentage of unit owners who struggle financially. Maybe they don't, they can't keep up with the condo payments, and if they lose their unit to foreclosure or something, all those things negatively impact the rest of the community. So when you're buying into
Right.
a condominium development, you're kind of looking at the group as a whole to say, hey, we're all in this boat together here to make this, a viable community. And with a 55 and over, you're pretty much, surrounding yourself with people who are at a similar point in their lives. They're usually financially stable. They're downsizing to move there. So in our experience, these communities don't suffer from, struggling with getting people to pay their condo fees, short sales, foreclosures, none of that type of stuff. So
Yeah, they're moving in mortgage free.
right, a lot of them are, and then the
Yeah.
associations end up, having a healthy budget. They are able to accumulate savings, and they can maintain their property well without
Right.
having to chase people down and deal with problems. And,
Yeah, and when you get a condo association, if not everybody pays, it really puts a damper on it because you
yeah,
have maintenance has to be done.
yep,
And if the money's not in the budget, what do you do?
right, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And you're right, a lot of those are first-time buyers in a lot of cases because it's a little cheaper to get into a condo.
mm-hmm.
So, or they're a husband and wife and they're both professionals, and
Yeah,
it's not the same. They're not there. You don't even see your neighbors in a lot of cases in a regular condo.
right, yeah,
But in a old 55, most of them are retired or semi-retired, so
Yeah.
they're around,
yep,
and of course, you all have in the same age group, so you all got the same likes and dislikes.
right, yep. So friendships are made
Yeah,
quickly, and you'll get groups together that like to go out and go golfing.
yeah,
We've seen at Laurelwood, the community has really blossomed. There's a number of different committees that have cropped up. So there's a beautification committee. People who really enjoy gardening and planting flowers, and now they say, oh no, I'm in a condo, I can't really do what I love doing. But with the beautification committee, they say, hey, we're going to handle planting the flowers at the entrance signage,
Right,
and
yeah.
around the mailboxes. We're going to do flowers every spring, and so they're able to create
yeah.
those scenarios where they can
And then you
enjoy.
get the camaraderie of working with
Right.
Other people,
Yeah,
so it's even more enjoyable.
right. Yep. People get together and
Yeah.
organize events, meet and greets and coffee hours, and
Yeah, you maybe form a club, like you might have
yeah,
a hiking club that wants to just
Yeah.
take trips, walk through the woods,
right. Yeah,
things like that. Of course,
Yep.
we have a lot of things around here. We have some great walking areas.
Yeah.
You get down to the canal area,
oh yeah, yeah,
and there's so much to see around here.
right. Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Yeah, but I like that idea. That's a great.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like when you were a kid and you lived in the neighborhood and you play. All the kids had, got together and they did certain things together. Well, this is what happens here.
Right. Yeah.
Just older kids now.
Right. Reliving your childhood. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. You
it-
go
it-
go out and
it
see who
keeps-
wants to play.
keeps you from being bored.
Right.
That's the one thing. If people
Yeah.
retire and they have nothing else to do, I don't retire. I just keep doing things.
Yeah.
But a lot of people retire and they don't know what to do with themselves.
Right.
And it makes for a long day.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there and watch TV all the time.
No. No.
And
So.
this, like I said, but now, when do you feel you're really going to start moving along now? Because it's been tough because you got a tough site to work at.
Yeah. So we broke ground and had quite a bit of blasting to do, which we're
That over now?
pretty much that's over. Yeah. As we go, we may run into a spot where we hit some underground ledge that we weren't expecting or something. So we may have to come back and just do a small blast to pop some rock. But for the most part, the blasting is done now. Most of our heavy site work is done now. So we've started putting buildings up. Our model home is probably 2 or 3 weeks away from being finished. So we plan to kick off our marketing towards the end of this month and start running open houses on the weekends. We've got several other buildings at various stages of construction right now as well. And we're going to just keep building and start taking deposits, and hopefully, as fast as we can sell them, we'll keep building them, and it'll be a few years before we complete the entire project,
right.
I'm sure.
No
but
project is done overnight. I mean, it takes years.
right. There'll be 104 units in total, so
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a
It'll-
lot.
take a few years to work
Yeah.
our way through. But we know the market is still good right now, and we're hoping it'll stay good for a little while longer. But the real estate market is typically cyclical, and we've been on kind of an upswing for several years.
Yeah, so who knows?
So we want to move quickly, before we run into a downturn in the market.
Right.
And because we also have that one main entrance and exit, for the benefit of the people who start to move into the community, we want to try and get it built and finished and landscaped and get out of their way so they can start
Yes.
really enjoying it sooner rather than later.
Now, the streets will be completed first.
Right, right.
So you could drive in
Mhm.
and go down the street and say, "Oh, that's a nice spot.
Yeah,
I'd like to have mine built right there."
right. Yep.
So you could actually go in and order your house.
hmm
It's going to be you're going to have the structure is going to be the same, but they can pick what they want to have inside.
Correct. So we've got a site map that shows all the buildings, how they'll lay out on
Yeah.
the site, and people could pick any one that they'd like based on location. And then obviously we have a schedule of how we plan to build them. So timing often drives a decision like
Yeah.
that as well. If someone says, how I'd like to get in as soon as possible, could I be in, later this summer? Okay, well then if you need to be in by the end of the summer, you probably should be picking one of these 6 or 8
Right.
units, because those we can have finished relatively soon. If you're thinking you want to make the move next summer, these are the
Right.
units that would probably fall into that time frame.
Right, and then if they put a deposit down, you'll go ahead and you reserve the unit for them.
Correct. Yeah. So we
And
have a
They don't have to pay it all at once because they wouldn't be moving in right away.
right. Yeah.
So you
we
can
have
stay in your house,
Mhm.
just put a deposit down, because what the heck, you're not gonna just
yeah.
promise somebody something and somebody else comes along and wants to buy it and you don't sell it to them and then they don't
Right.
buy. You have
Yeah.
to have some kind of security.
Right. Yep. So we have a very easy process. If someone wants to reserve a unit, we have a one-page form that specifies which unit in particular it is that they'd like. It's a $1,000 deposit. We'll hold that unit for them until we know exactly when we're ready to start building it and what the price of it will be. And that basically gives them a first right of refusal, so
Oh.
that we would have to go to them first and say, okay,
Yeah.
we're ready to go on this one. If you want it, it's yours. If for any reason you decide you no longer want it, we refund the deposit in full.
Oh, wow,
we have-
you can't beat that.
Yeah, it's really just kind of a formality, like a
Yeah.
placeholder to say, okay, we've got a deposit on that one.
Right,
But when the time comes, if they decide, no, we changed our minds, not a problem. We just refund their deposit and we'll go to market with it.
oh,
But
yeah. How
yeah.
can you go on? Now, you'll be putting the sign up when you're ready to show the model.
right,
So
yeah,
people go and buy will know, okay, you can come in now. Right now,
Yeah.
it says construction vehicles only.
correct.
For
So-
good reason.
yeah.
There's a lot of work going on up there.
Right, yep. But yeah, we'll get the sign put up at the beginning, and the construction vehicle sign will move further into the site, and then we'll allow traffic, to come in, go up the hill, and we'll have a parking area up near the model, and then we'll start publishing, what our open house schedule will be. Most
Yep.
likely it'll be Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, those are the big days.
Yeah.
That's when people shop.
Right. We may do an evening open house during the
Uh-huh.
week and see if that makes sense, if we get some traffic from there. But yeah, we do have a website that we've got live now that has quite a bit of preliminary information. If anyone wanted to take a peek at what the site looks like and what the floor plans look like, they can simply go to stonehillcondominiums.com. And then as we begin our marketing later this month, we'll be going to market like anyone else would who would be hiring a realtor, where we'll enter the information in the realtor's MLS database, and it'll syndicate out to all the websites that people use to shop for homes, like homes.com, Zillow, and
Yeah.
all those types of things. So we'll be ready to go and sell at that point.
Now, the big thing now is hardwood floors.
Mhm.
These are going to be hardwood floors, or will you have a choice? If you want, some people might want carpeting. Would you have a choice?
So hardwood floors are our standard in all
Yeah.
our public spaces. So when you walk in the front door, hardwood flooring all through the foyer
Yeah.
and the hallway, living room, kitchen, dining room, all hardwood flooring is the standard. And it's true 3/4 inch thick hardwood flooring. It comes in a number of different colored finishes, but it's all oak hardwood flooring. so you can pick different colors, lighter
Oh, so you
colors,
can
darker
actually pick
colors.
the one you want.
Yep. And then in the future, if you decide, you know what, I'm sick of this color, it's a little darker than I think I'd like at this point, you can sand it and re-stain it and reseal it. So it's true hardwood flooring through all your public spaces. And we use ceramic tile in the bathrooms and the laundry room. And then carpet in the 2 bedrooms. Although if you want to upgrade and put hardwood in the bedrooms, you can do that as well.
And it's single bath.
It's 2 full bathrooms.
Oh, 2 full baths.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Off of each bedroom.
Right, so the master bedroom is a nice big bedroom with a big walk-in closet, and then it has its own private master bathroom. And then the second bedroom has a full bathroom right off of it that would sort of double as your guest bathroom as well.
Oh, that's great. A lot of people,
Yeah.
when you have guests over, you do need, well, even with
Yeah.
2 people, the wife and I, we have 2 baths, and it's handy because if I'm in the bathroom, I don't have to hear her knocking on the door.
Yeah, right.
You got your other one.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go use the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep. Yep. And we have a menu, a la carte type menu if people want to add some upgrades. From our experience, we've got a list of all the popular things that oftentimes people ask for, and it's all priced out so they can see exactly what their choices are. And we have samples, countertops and carpeting and ceramic tile and paint and doorknobs.
See, even
They
pick
can
your own
pick all that.
doorknobs.
Yep. Hardware for the cabinets
Yeah.
and doorknobs and yeah.
So you're really building your own house.
Right. Yep.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good.
And we're gonna finish a few in the beginning. We have a decorator on staff. She
Yeah.
does a phenomenal job with color coordination. So we're finishing a few units right up front. So in addition to the model, we'll have some that are just ready to move into. If someone says, I'm ready, they can walk in, they can look, and I like this one better than that one.
Yeah.
I like these colors, or I like the view from this unit's windows. So we'll have some that are ready to go. But for the most part, yep, people can pick their location, and then they'll be able to pick all their interior colors and finishes. And if they need some guidance, they can meet with the decorator, and she can help them. So it all comes together and looks nice.
And what about appliances?
Yep. So we provide an allowance towards all the kitchen appliances, refrigerator, stove, microwave, dishwasher. And then there's a laundry room, but if the buyers have their own washer dryer, they can bring them, or if they want to buy a new one, they would do that on their own, though.
Oh, okay.
We can have it installed.
But your other appliances
Yep.
you supply.
Correct. We provide an allowance, and they can choose what they'd like. And if they choose something fancy and they go over the budget, they would just pay the difference. Over the allowance.
I don't know if you're going to do this, but the big thing now is the electric fireplaces or gas.
Yep. So gas fireplaces are an option,
And
we've got one in the model home. Yep. Beautiful gas fireplace centered in the living room. Yep. Looks real nice. It's got a beautiful mantle.
with the flat screen TV right above it.
Yep, the flat screen TV right above. Yeah, yep. And the new ones are really nice too. I mean, we include the blower kit. Has a digital remote control. You can set it by the temperature, so it'll actually turn on and off to regulate the temperature. You can adjust the speed of the blower, the height of the flame. You can really customize it. It's pretty nice.
So if it gets too hot, they'll automatically
Yep.
calm down for you.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You don't have to get up and do it. It's automatic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
setup. Yeah.
I mean, these are all things that people look for today.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
hitting on all of it. Of
Right.
course, you wanted to put natural gas in.
We did.
But you had a problem with getting the lines up there, and that is a problem everywhere. The gas companies are moving that. They can't move fast enough.
No, they're so backed up that they couldn't give us the connection for
Yeah.
quite a while. So we had to shift gears. So we're putting in underground propane tanks.
Yep.
But each unit will be individually metered, and they'll just get a bill each month for whatever they use. So it really won't be much different than as if they had natural gas. It'll just be propane.
You'll be purchasing the gas and then billing the unit.
Correct. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. So the tanks will all be filled, and then each unit will have its own
Oh, okay.
meter.
So you might have a unit. We might have one tank for both units.
Correct. So if it's a duplex, correct, probably
Yeah.
be one tank servicing both units,
Oh,
and they'll
okay.
each have a
That's a
meter.
good idea. Rather than having always tanks
Right.
and individuals, and
Yeah.
then You got multiple people coming in and out, and as well
Yeah.
as different companies.
Right.
This
Yep.
way here, you
It'll
could
be one company.
one company.
Yeah.
You'll be able to buy it on a bid process,
Right.
which will keep the cost down because you're buying so much. They're going to give you a better price,
Right. Yep.
and then you build a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good idea. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just
So
working out really
yeah,
well.
you're right. That's as close as you can come to having
Yeah.
what they call city gas.
Right. Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good idea. You overcame an obstacle there.
Right. Yep. Yep. It actually worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you did have oil, and I'm nothing against the oil guys,
Mm,
but you'd have to have individual tanks for that.
that's right.
And then what you have, and we have this all over town. In the wintertime, you're going to see oil companies delivering from all over.
Right.
So you got them up and down the street, and it's a small area, not small area, but
Yeah.
it's a private street.
Right. Right.
I mean, I think people would go crazy. Say, oh my God, there's not a truck in my way.
Right. So this way, yep, they can bring one truck in and top off
Yeah.
all the tanks.
Yeah.
Yep. At once. Exactly.
Yeah, that
Yep,
is
so it
that
worked
is
out
a
well.
super idea.
Yep. Yeah. Great.
And I don't think you'll ever see gas going up there because it's just
Mm.
now you got a great concept. You don't need it.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And propane, it's compatible in price too.
Right. Yep.
They
Exactly.
both level off at the same things.
Yeah.
Right now, that's the big thing. Gas is a lot cheaper than oil.
Yep. Right. Right. And it burns cleaner.
And yeah, that's the other factor too. It's
Right.
much cleaner on your furnace.
Yeah. Yep. And we're building these very energy efficiently.
Yes, the other thing too. I mean, these are all new furnaces, so they're much more compact.
Hmm.
They're more efficient.
Right. They're 96% efficient furnaces. We're putting in all on-demand tankless hot water systems as a standard.
Oh wow, that saves you a lot of money right there.
So, yep. So it's more expensive to install, but it'll save people money in
Yeah.
the long run. And that's kind of our philosophy, especially with the 55 and over product like this is, you're building 104 units. A lot of developers have that mentality of, okay, well, if I can save myself $1,000 doing it this way, times 104, I just saved $104,000.
Exactly.
But we look at it sort of the opposite way. We say, look, these aren't first-time home buyers that you're going to hoodwink here. I mean,
Yep.
these are people who have owned their homes, and they understand that, if you cut a corner initially, you're going to pay for it later. So we'd rather spend a little extra money and do it the right way for the long-term benefit.
Right.
And usually buyers of a 55 and over community come in, they scrutinize, they want to see the quality of the construction and the windows and the heating system and all of that. So we want to be proud of what we're offering.
Yeah, and building all those units, you can handpick your contractors, so you know you get a good job.
Yep. So yeah, we have an excellent crew of our own on staff. We do a lot of our own site work. We do a lot of our own. A lot of the management of the construction process. We have our own guys on staff. So they've been with us for a long time. They know how we like things done, what we expect. So we've got eyes on the job from start to finish. And over the years, we've made great relationships with several subcontractors. And again, they're not always the cheapest, but it saves us time and aggravation in the long run because, again, they know how we want it done. They know the level of quality we expect. And we give them a lot of business so that they're fair with us, and we don't want to always go to the cheapest bidder out there. We want to make sure the job gets done right.
Right. You can take the cheapest, or you can take the quality. You take the quality. In the long run, you save money.
Right. Right. Yep. You want to find that good balance, right? No
Yep.
one wants to overpay for something, but yeah, you want to make sure that you're getting a good quality job.
Yeah, you get a lousy job, but they use cheap material.
Right.
A year from now, you're replacing it, and where did you save?
Right. Right. Yep. Yep. Like for all our decks, we use composite decking, vinyl rails. A lot of developers will just do pressure treated. When it's installed new, it looks fine, but the developer leaves, and then a year later, everything starts twisting and cracking, and you're getting splinters, and then
Right.
who's got to stain it, and then the association has to take care of it, and then the condo fees go up. But yeah,
And where you're building 106 units, you're going to be there for a few years.
Yeah, right, right.
So you want to make quality because
Yeah.
if you can get in there cheap and sell the first ones, you're not going to sell the rest of them because they're going to say, no, this is all crap.
Right. And what happens also is as we're building, the new buyers coming in will drive through and
Yeah.
they will speak with the people who live there
Yes.
because those people are out walking around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that the people are happy
Yeah.
and they speak highly of us and they're happy with their homes and the development.
You know, you need to say it. Oh, I bought one and that was the sorriest thing I ever did. You know,
Right.
That's the worst thing you want.
Yeah, we don't want that, right?
No, you want to say,
Yeah.
hey, I love it here. This is great. I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
Everything works great.
Exactly. Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. That's
That-
right.
This, I'm really looking forward to seeing this come about. I think it's
Yeah.
going to really add to the town too as you come into town,
Yeah.
and it's a good spot.
Yeah. 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 Nice location. There's
And
all the
you're our
conveniences
first, so I've been waiting to see.
Oh, good. yeah.
I wanted to see how it would make out the last time. It turned out never got built. I like to see what happens. I like to see how this works out. Because
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more over 55s come in.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point where everybody went south automatically when they
Mm-hmm.
want to do it, but they don't. A lot of people don't want to do that now.
Well, no, you know what it is? Their kids are here. Their grandkids are here.
Or they at least want to be able to spend
Yeah.
the good months.
At least, right, yeah.
Spring, summer,
6, 9
fall.
months.
Just go down to Florida for couple of months.
Exactly, right. Yep. But yeah, I mean, people, they grew up here. Their doctors are here. Their friends are
Yes.
here. So, yeah, they may want to go away for a few months, like you say, during the winter. Can't blame them. But, yeah, it's nice to be able to have roots here.
Another thing I see is people will move down here,
Yeah.
and after a few years they're back.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because at our North Smithfield community, we have one unit left to close on. And out of 162 units, our very last unit is being sold to a couple that many, many years ago, my father built a single-family home for them. They loved it. They were very happy there. But as they got older and they retired, they sold the home and moved to Florida. Well, they've been in Florida for a few years now, and they said, you know what, this was okay, but we want to come home.
Yeah.
Our family's here, friends are here. This is where we grew up. This is what we know. You know, it's
Yeah.
way too hot in the summer down here to live
Yeah.
year-round. So they're moving back, and they're going to be purchasing the very last unit that we have.
Oh, that's the other question I had.
Yeah.
All these units will have central air.
Yes. Yep, central air is standard. 9-foot ceiling heights throughout the interior is a standard. Yep.
So you got the ideal situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. They move back,
Mhm.
but they don't mind moving back to a condo situation because they're not going to have to shovel the snow.
Right, right.
They're not going to have to clean up the leaves in
Yeah.
the fall. I mean, they don't have to do any outside work
Right, yeah, yeah.
unless you want to.
Right, right, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's great moving back. It's not bad. Okay, I can. All right, maybe a few days I can't get out because of snow, but that's all right.
Yeah, right,
I
Yeah.
can. I'm back with my family and my friends.
right, right. Yep, yep. And I've heard so many people say that, and they say, you know, the best thing about moving to this 55 and over community is when there's a foot of snow on the ground, and all the guys are out there cleaning up the snow, and I'm sitting here sipping my coffee, watching them from the window.
Yeah, watch it. It could snow all night. I don't care.
Right.
I'm not going to worry about it tomorrow morning.
That's
It'll
right.
be all taken care of, and when it's done, I'll go
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. This
Yeah.
is going to be a good.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. We're really proud of it. We want to do a nice job and make
The
something
wife
people
and I
be
will
proud
probably be
of.
the first ones up to look at your model.
Yeah, all right. Great.
Wait till you get it open.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And very last, I want to say,
Yeah.
Duane's going to be playing at our WCRN tournament,
Yeah,
which will be in July 28th, I think it is.
okay.
I forgot now.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
worry about
right.
when we get to July. I'll worry about it.
Yeah, yep, yep,
But
yep. I'll be there. I'll be playing. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll get to see the beautiful course we got up here, which will be right in your neighborhood if you live at
Yeah, right.
Stonehill.
Yep, exactly. Yep, beautiful course.
Now, is your dad looking to move in one of those condos?
No, not necessarily.
He's like me. He wants to just
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, yeah. He's. I don't think he'll ever retire.
Yeah.
My sisters and I keep telling him, "Hey, why don't you go enjoy yourself?"
I've done it 4 times.
Yeah,
I keep getting another job.
yeah, yeah.
You get bored.
He keeps coming back to the office. We told him, we said, we're going to change the locks one of these days. You're going to come, you won't be able to get in.
No, you get bored. You just
Yeah,
gotta keep. Some
right.
people, he's just a natural for it. He loves what he does,
He does. He enjoys it. Yeah.
and that comes across in what he does too. If you love
Yeah.
what you do,
Right.
you're gonna do a good job at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. He cares. He takes it very personally, and it's becomes his legacy.
Yeah.
He wants to do a nice job. He's very proud of what he does. He grew up in the construction trade, and so it's been his whole life, and he knows it very, very well, and
Yeah.
takes it very, very seriously. And yeah.
And then the family's involved. That means it's a
Yeah.
good business and it's doing well
Yeah.
because
yeah.
the family wouldn't be involved.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We want to make sure there's some continuity there. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something we can all be proud of.
So you're not dealing with some fly-by-night people that decide to come in and build, or
Yeah.
some national conglomerate
Yeah. Yeah. We've.
that the bottom line is the only thing they care about.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen. We've had the experience in Rhode Island where we've had some companies from New York come up, build a condominium community, and leave, and then after they were gone, everything fell apart and it became a nightmare.
Yeah,
and-
because their only concern is bottom line, and they're going to
Yeah.
cut every corner they can.
Correct. Right. Yep. And that's never been our MO. We're here, we
I've-
live here,
I've
we
seen
work
that.
here, we play here.
Yeah.
we're-
I've seen that with other companies, these national firms
Yeah.
that do building.
Mm,
Oh, building inspectors hate them.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
here again, but you're there.
Yeah.
You're going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
and
Right.
you're still around even after
Yeah.
it's all done.
Right.
I mean, if you're living down in Rhode Island, you're still neighbors.
Sure. Absolutely. Yep.
So you're going to do it right.
Right. Right.
Well,
Yeah.
Duane, thank you for coming in.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
An hour flew by, right?
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was great. Thank you.
And we're going to be here next week. I'm pretty sure Unibank wants to come in, so we're scheduling one more show before we go away for the summer. So we'll see you next week on About the Valley.